So today I'm going to be trying to clean out the carburetor on this lawnmower. Carburetor's right there. First thing I'm going to do is tip this seat up. I already undid the little turn knob bolts that were right here, so this tank will pop up like this. Next thing I'm going to want to do is undo this hose right here, pinch that and pull it off, and take off this filter cover. So now I got this hose undone, set the tank aside. Can pull this off now that I unscrewed this. It's a lot of twisting to get that off. And I can unscrew this filter here. Again, a lot of twisting, a lot of threads to get this filter off. So the next thing you're going to want to do is remove these two bolts on the bottom on each side. There's one here and straight across from it on the other side, right there. Next thing I want to do is pull this off up here so that I can remove those cords, or sorry, not the cords, but these bars off of there. You got to wiggle those. It's going to be a little tough. So I got to twist this to get this one. And so I'm probably going to have to take two hands to do that, but you got to wiggle these out from on these two here. So now I got those two bars off of this, I can take the carburetor off and work on it. So I pulled this over here just to make things easier. When I take this hose, you just pinch these right there and pull the hose off. Make it easier to work on this carburetor. So I'll pinch this like that and pull it back enough that it's not on there. And then I've got to pull and pry this off of there. So with these, it's nice if I can get the pliers in there enough and wiggle enough to get the pliers behind there. And then I pry on the pliers like this to push that hose off. Okay, now that I got that hose off, next thing I'm going to want to do is not dump gas everywhere and undo this bolt right here. This holds this bowl, it's called the float bowl, holds that on there. So I want to undo this bolt. So now I've got that off there, pull it off, and now I can pull this float bowl off. The next thing you want to do is push this pin here and pull it out right here. This just slides in there. So go like this, if I can grab that. There we go. Getting it out. It's hard to do with one hand. There we go. Make sure you don't lose that. It's a little part. And then as you're pulling this off, be careful. It's got the pin right there. Don't lose that either. And that just slides in there. Don't want to lose that piece either. Now you can see this had a lot of buildup in there, and this might have been why I was having issues in the first place, all this gunk. So I'll use some carb cleaner to do that. As you're doing that, some people use a compressor too, but on some of these carburetors, this pin isn't rubber on the end right there. And instead it has a gasket, a little gasket in there, and if you use a compressor or the carb cleaner, it can spray out that gasket and ruin it. So you want to be really careful to check for a little gasket in there and don't lose or ruin that. But with this having the rubber pin, I checked in there, there's not a little gasket. You probably can't see very well, so I should be good to clean this. I'll remove this because the carb cleaner doesn't like rubber. But now I'll clean out and spray in this hole and this hole with the carb cleaner and get all this stuff out of here too. So on some of these, I want to clean out this hole right here, but you got to watch and be careful because as you clean it out, I'll put the carb cleaner hose in there, and then as I spray, you see how it comes out the top? And if that gets in your eyes, just pointed at you, that's not good. But it is cleaning out that jet, and you want to make sure that's not going to spray you. So be careful as you're spraying all these holes that you're not going to get sprayed in the eye, and be careful to turn your head away as you spray. So I sprayed through here, which cleaned out between here and there. I sprayed in there, which cleaned out between there and the main holes in here. I also sprayed out this hole at the tip of my finger. Also, there's another one right here at the tip of my finger. You just want to go through and spray all these holes out and make sure they're clear of any junk in them. I sprayed through here, obviously cleaned out all the garbage that was around here. Rubbed this a little bit clean, sprayed this hole here. So you just want to spray out all these jets, make sure they're all cleaned out, and then we can put it back together.
Oh, like this thing right here.
So as I'm cleaning this off, I want to not use the carb cleaner on things like this or the gasket to clean them. I'll just brush them clean because the carb cleaner can eat away at those and ruin them. I got to clean out this float too. So I put this rubber gasket back on here. I'll take this pin slide it into that groove right there. And then I want that to go right into that hole right there. Slide that in. And then I take this pin and I'll slide it right through there and just even it out like that. And I can take this bowl, put it back on, and tighten this. And you just want it tight enough to hold against that rubber seal. You don't need to cinch it down really tight. Okay, so now I went ahead and threw this hose back on, pinched that, or slid that on, then pinched this and slid it so it's pinching it to the carburetor. Need to put these back on, so I'll take this, bend the carb around to get that to go into the hole. Then I need to put this one back on, same kind of thing, twist the carburetor like this so I can get that on. And then I want to slide it back onto here and make sure this gasket's good as I do that, so it'll seal against there well. Line it up with the hose and slide that in like that. So you can see I didn't catch the gasket here, so I need to slide that back off, push that on so the gasket is where it needs to be. Then I can take this piece, put it back on, run these two through there and put those two bolts here onto there and tighten them up. So now I can put this filter back on here. And then I want to take this gasket and line it back up in here around the edge there before I put it back down onto here. Oh, and I gotta put this on first. And again, a lot of spinning. Cinch that down, and I'll set this back down on here and tighten this down. Now I'll go ahead and hook this back up to there. Just push it on. Then I take my pliers, pinch right here, and slide it back on there. And then we can put the tank back on the lawnmower. So now I got these two pins back in to hold the tank on. We can put some gas in here and try starting it up. So normally on a lawnmower engine, it's simpler than that because you don't have to remove the tank and everything. You just remove the hose from the carburetor. But this is the one I was doing today, so I figured I'd show you. Wish I would have got a video of the lawnmower running to show you that that did work great, but we had to get a new battery, so we got the battery and it was working great after that. Sorry the video is so long, but I wanted to show you how that works and make sure that it was detailed enough that you could do it on your own if you needed to. Thank you for watching.